In my previous video, I introduced and explained the Shamir backup system, otherwise known as the SLIP39 backup system. If you haven't watched that yet, be sure to check it out right here. One reason I hesitated to fully recommend the Shamir backup system is that users don't receive a BIP39 seed phrase during the wallet setup process, thereby limiting their options for wallet restoration. Currently, Shamir backup users can only restore their wallets using the Trezor or the Keystone Pro hardware wallets, or the Electrum hot wallet. If you lose or break your device and don't have access to one of those wallets, you're likely going to end up destitute, divorced, and homeless. Worst of all, your life savings will sit there on the blockchain laughing at you for all of eternity. I am not super comfortable with that scenario for me or you. So I went on a hunt for a way to reverse engineer the BIP39 seed phrase from a set of Shamir shares. Generating a BIP39 seed phrase gives you far more options for wallet restoration than the Shamir system itself. And that BIP39 seed phrase should be relatively simple to generate if you have the requisite number of Shamir shares, or at least I thought. After all, you can restore a Bitcoin wallet with the Shamir shares, so there's got to be a BIP39 seed phrase in there somewhere, right? But it turns out you can't. The Shamir shares are created upstream from the creation of the BIP39 seed phrase. So there is no corresponding seed phrase for a wallet that was created using the Shamir backup system. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, wait, don't go anywhere. In the process of researching my failed theory, I stumbled upon some neat tools to use as a workaround for that BIP39 seed phrase limitation of the Shamir system. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a wallet with the traditional BIP39 seed phrase and a group of Shamir shares that you can use for inheritance planning, security redundancy, or creating a geographically dispersed backup system. If that sounds good to you, let's dive in. I humbly refer to this system as the Sovereign Secret Sharing System. My goal was to leverage the simplicity and flexibility of a single SIG wallet with the security and redundancy of a multi-sig wallet that the Shamir backup system offers, but without the platform restrictions current Shamir users face. With my backup system, you can use any hot or cold wallet you wish. Drop your Trezor in the toilet, no biggie, just restore to a ledger. The dog gets the OneKey Classic, no problem. Just restore it to a hot wallet. And even if you went and died on us, no problem. I got you covered with the Shamir shares. Now that is a backup system I can recommend. So how does this sovereign secret sharing system work anyway? Well, I started with the logic that if a group of Shamir shares were created using the entropy that would have otherwise been used to create a BIP39 seed phrase, why can't we do both with the same entropy number? The key, pardon the pun, to the whole system is not the BIP39 seed phrase, but the 128-bit, 16-byte random hexadecimal number used as entropy to generate it, or at least a 128-bit number generates a 12-word seed, a 256-bit number generates a 24-word seed. Throughout this video, we're going to be using only 12-word seed as example. It's just easier to deal with. So if I could determine the number used to generate the seed phrase, I could also, or at least I thought, use that same number to generate a group of Shamir shares. And it turns out, yes, you can, using a group of free tools I found right here. This is the iancoleman.io website, and it is really fancy. No, this is not an error in loading. This is the actual website. He didn't spend a lot of time with user interface, user experience type of design for this site, but his tools are amazing. Specifically, the tools that I really like to use are the BIP39 mnemonic code converter, which is a seed phrase generator, the Shamir secret sharing tool, and the SLIP39 tool. Some of these tools that he has on this site are really for experimentation only and prototypes, so use at your own risk. There is a warning at the top of some of the pages. You can poke around here in the rest of the tools if you want to at iancoleman.io. Now, you can use one of these tools, the seed generator, to generate a BIP39 seed phrase and then use the entropy that it uses to generate that seed phrase over on a different tool to generate a group of Shamir shares. So you can have your seed phrase and your Shamir shares as well. So let's go through a demo of this process and I'll show you how everything works. So to start off, you need to download these tools that I'm going to refer to your computer and run them on the computer. They will run in the web browser, but the address will not be iancoleman.io/whatever. It will be your username of your computer showing that it's running an application on the hard drive, not on the web. Do not run these on the web for any reason other than to just goof around, because the seed phrases and the information you use could be compromised, and then that would be bad. Additionally, if you run them on your computer, you have to be positive that that computer is not compromised in any way with a keylogger or a clipboard monitor or anything like that. I have very recently erased the hard drive on this computer and reset up the whole darn thing. It took forever, but it's a security measure I do about once a year. I factory reset the hard drive, erase everything, and start over. And I would recommend you do that as well if you're really serious about security of your crypto. Okay, let's get to the demo. Like I said, the first step is to go to and download the mnemonic code converter and the SLIP39 tool. Those are the two tools that we're going to be using for this first part of this demo. So go ahead and download those, and let's go to the site here. It is iancoleman.io/BIP39, and that will take you to his mnemonic code converter, where we're going to generate a seed phrase and the entropy used to derive that seed phrase. So what you do is you're going to go to the file, click Save Page As right here, and then save the page, and don't use this one, but run it locally, okay? Make sure you do that. You can turn off your Wi-Fi if you wish, but theoretically that information should not be being sent off your computer either way, but if you want to be secure, you can run this without Wi-Fi. I'm going to leave everything connected, and I'm going to run this on the web for this demo only, okay? So at this page, we want to create a BIP39 seed phrase, which is going to show up in this box. We're going to use a 12-word example, and all you do is select 12 from this box and then press the generate button, and that's it. Now we have our seed phrase. Do not use this seed phrase in your crypto, for your crypto, please. But this is the big reveal. If you click this Show Entropy Details button, then a big section opens up here. Here's the seed phrase still, and shows you how that seed phrase was created. It was created using this 128-bit, 16-byte hexadecimal number, because the hex number is selected here, and it created that using a random number generator. Now, I don't know the security level of that random number generator, but I'm assuming it's good. Anyway, let's just assume that it's a quality random number generator that he uses. So this number was used to derive this binary, which was used to derive these word indexes, which represent the index in the word list for this seed phrase. And then this seed phrase was derived from that entropy number. This is what we're after. We're going to, well, now, before we do that, actually, you can use this seed phrase and an associated passphrase, if you will, or if you prefer, you can create a passphrase to protect your wallet or add another level of security to your wallet. And you can use this to restore a wallet, any wallet that accepts the restoration function, and pretty much every wallet does. Not every wallet has a passphrase function. So if you don't mind not using a passphrase, I would strongly suggest you use a passphrase. Then you can use whatever wallet you prefer, but I would choose one that has the passphrase function. And you can restore the wallets using this setup. What we're doing is we're creating Shamir shares not to use to restore the wallet, but as an added layer of backup and security, redundancy, and possibly even for inheritance planning. Okay, so now that the wallets have been created, or the wallet has been created, we want to create a Shamir backup system or group of Shamir shares using this entropy number. So we're going to copy this entropy number, and we're going to go over to the SLIP39 tool, which is right here. Download that, save it to your hard drive, run it locally, turn off the Wi-Fi, and this is the Slip39 tool. Okay, super important. This is an experimental prototype. That's what he has there. He does not guarantee the lifespan of this tool. Now, if you download it, you should have it, and it should be able to run in any browser for all of time because it's an HTML file. It's very simple, and it uses some simple JavaScript to run and create all these interesting functions. So what we're going to do is we're going to ignore this warning, and we're going to go down here. Now you can do this backwards by selecting 128 bits, and you have an entropy number that it creates randomly, and it uses that to create a group of shares. And if you did that, you could go back to the mnemonic code converter and show entropy, enter that entropy in here, and you would create a seed phrase using that entropy. So you're doing it backwards. You're creating the shares first, and then the seed phrase. It's up to you. It doesn't matter at all. So let's go back to the Slip39 tool, and we're going to copy this again, make sure that that is in our clipboard. We're going to paste it into the master secret area. That is a 128-bit number that would normally create a 12-word seed phrase. Passphrase adds another layer of security to this system. This is not your wallet passphrase. This is simply an extra layer, like a password for the encryption of this master secret, basically. I'm going to leave that blank for now, but you can add one if you wish. And then you come down here, you create the total number of shares. Now, for inheritance planning, this is very important. If you need to distribute a certain number of shares to a certain number of people, or if there's a group involved and there's a board with 10 members, maybe each member needs a share, and then you say, well, I don't want to be able to move the Bitcoin out of there unless there's a certain number of people or I don't want to allow people to restore the wallet unless a certain number of people agree. Anyway, you set the threshold, you set the total number of shares. I'm going to do 3 shares with the threshold of 2. That means if 2 of the shares are brought together, the secret will be revealed. And then these are the shares automatically created using JavaScript. Okay, so at this point, we've created a BIP39 seed phrase and using a passphrase, restored a bunch of wallets. In order to back up that seed phrase, we take the entropy, move it over here, and create a group of shares that we can distribute geographically, and it also adds some redundancy. These shares need to be secured and geographically distributed. Do not store them together. They can be put in plain sight. Nobody knows what that is. At least most normies don't know what this 20-word phrase is, so it can be put in plain sight. Anyway, secure them and make sure that they are safe. You cannot restore your seed phrase with these shares, okay? The shares are used to restore your entropy, which is then used over here on the mnemonic code converter to then restore your seed phrase, okay? So it's a 2-step process if you want to restore the wallet. In order to do that, you need the seed phrase. So you use the shares, bring them together, create the entropy, bring the entropy over here, and restore the seed phrase. Not complicated, but it is a 2-step process. Let's go ahead and go through the reconstruction process or reconstitution of a wallet using this whole thing. And I'm going to use a random master secret. This is a 128-bit hexadecimal number, 3 total, 2 threshold. I'm going to take, let's just pretend this was blank. I'm going to copy these, erase this, and this is where you would come to restore the secret. So I'm going to paste 2 of them in here, and there it is. Now, if we had a passphrase, do you see how this master secret changes as the passphrase is entered? We don't have a passphrase. So then we're going to copy this number. We're going to go over to the BIP39 code converter, and let me refresh this page. We're going to click Show Entropy Details and enter the entropy, and voila. The seed phrase is revealed below. This number right here will always produce this seed phrase. Always, always, always. But if you'll notice, this number, now look carefully at these shares. the sequence of words, unusual garden beard, unusual garden ceramic, etc. Using this master secret, I'm going to copy this secret. I'm going to paste it up here. And what do you know? Different shares. What? Yes. Every time you create a group of shares with the exact same hexadecimal number, they're different. I'm going to refresh the page, paste that in. Oh, different again. Don't worry about it. They always restore to the same number. Okay? Different shares will restore to the same number. The chances of two 20-word seed phrases essentially being exactly the same and restoring the same hexadecimal number are the exact same as restoring, or the exact same as creating two 128-bit numbers that are exactly the same, which are astronomical. I have a video on how secure is your seed phrase quite a bit earlier in my channel if you want to check that out. Okay, so that's it. That's how you create a BIP39 seed phrase and a group of Shamir shares at the same time. So you have the flexibility of a single sig and the security of a multi-sig Shamir backup, at least, at the same time. And I think it's awesome. But what if you want to take your Shamir sharing game to the next level? Well, I got you covered there too as well. One way is to use another tool I found on Ian Coleman's website called the Shamir sharing tool. And it's right here, not this one, but the one above it, Shamir Secret Sharing Scheme Tool. Let's go ahead and move over to that site. All right. There is no warning that this is a prototype, but again, all of these tools are available to download so you can have them for safekeeping. In this box, this is a similar tool to his other ones, but in this box, you have the ability to enter either hexadecimal number, a passphrase, or a seed phrase, anything you want to share, basically, or to secure. So what you're going to do is let's go ahead and copy our number from this page. We're going to go over here and paste it in here. We're going to set our threshold at 3, our total number of shares at 5, and look at the shares. They're not words. The first 3 numbers designate the share's position in the group, and the rest of the number is a really long hexadecimal number, and it doesn't translate to anything that I could figure out. I tried and tried and tried. It seems like a random number, and I know there's some way to figure out what's underneath, but I couldn't do it. And then if you want to restore, you need 3 of these 5 shares. So let's just copy 3 of them over here to the combine box, enter the secrets, 1 per line. This is the result so far. We're going to copy another one. And again, the result updates. We're going to copy another one. And bingo. This is the original secret. See that? Match. Now, like I said, you can, I'm going to go get a seed phrase. Now, like I said, you can paste a seed phrase into this box and do the exact same thing. You can change the required number to 2. And let's go ahead and copy these. Let me clear out this box. I'll paste the first one in here, paste the second one, and what do you know? There is our seed phrase. You could also do this for a passphrase and then hide these anywhere, actually. They're so random and so weird of a number, you could put them on a sticky note on your refrigerator and nobody would be any the wiser, nor would they know how many would be required to restore. So this is a really neat option to take your Shamir sharing system up to the next level. The other tool I found is called the Slip39 app, and it is available at slip39.com/app. Now, this website looks pretty modern, but the interface is incredibly dated, and it is so slow. I thought it crashed a million times until one time I asked it to create some shares for me, and it took about 55 or seconds or a minute or 2 minutes. It was forever. I just walked away thinking it had crashed again. I came back and it had done it. So it does work, but it is really slow, and it does create groups of shares, and I think it's really designed for a more advanced application of the Shamir system. involving multiple groups, but you can check it out, slip39.com/app. And you can also use Python commands to perform this process, which gives you even more flexibility. But that is for another video. In conclusion, the Sovereign Secret Sharing System, for short, so you can call it either one, represents a way that you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have a traditional BIP39 seed phrase and a group of Shamir shares as a redundant backup system. The problem with this system is that it appears as though you're limited to using these tools to restore your entropy number. So we're kind of platform dependent again, but if you use it alongside your BIP39 seed phrase as a double backup, that's the trick. So my recommendation would be to use this in addition to backing up your BIP39 seed phrase for additional security, flexibility, decentralization, and redundancy. If you thought this video was cool, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button while you're down there, and be prepared to have your mind blown by the next video. I'll see you there.